Pistons in Detroit. And what really made that outcome a surprise was how lopsided it was.
They went up against an extremely passive defense in that game, Clark. That was something to watch.
Yeah, but trust me, Steve, they weren't complaining about it at all. I mean, you love to catch a team having an off night defensively.
Now the starting group for the Denver Nuggets. And small forward and powerful. Gallinari and Fareed. Figured out there with Larson. And it's Kufos in at the center. Some changes for Brooklyn. Johnson Wallace, the explosive set of wings. Evans is out there with Brook Lopez. And it's Williams at the 1 spot.
There's never been any question about Darren Williams' ability to score. How about last season with the Nets when he had 57 in a game, including 21 consecutive free throws? That's a Nets franchise record for 57 points in one game. Amazing.
Here's Gallinari. The layup missed. Denver on D. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
And there's no question what the overriding factor was in that game, Clark. It was the big edge they had on the glass.
Well, the level of energy they had in the win, Steve, was what impressed me. I mean, it was lacking on... Oh, get it! Oh, watch out now. He's definitely showing some real sweet dunking skills here.
Are you kidding me? Oh, my gosh. What a play.
Yeah, that was spectacular. You know, in his day, Gerald Wallace was one of the best athletes in the NBA. I think he's lost a step, but he's still a very explosive player, ability to get out in transition and just blow by slower defenders.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I had a chance to talk with the head coach for Brooklyn. I asked him about the challenge of defending this team. He said, quote, it really comes down to their awareness offensively. They don't take a lot of bad shots or make those kind of net errors. And that puts the pressure on us to be just as efficient. We've got to value our possessions so we can match them shot for shot. Gentlemen, back to you.
Doris, thanks. No better way to enforce your defense if you can keep that defensive shooting percentage to a minimum.
And for that to happen, Kevin, it's going to take a complete group effort defensively.
Steve, that's an excellent point. Defending a team that really can stroke it like this requires an awful lot of good communication among all the defenders. Everybody has to be chattering and aware of where bodies are at all times.
Evans kicks to Lopez. Stolen by Fareed. It's one up. And it's Iguodala missing. And for Gerald Wallace, not just great athleticism, but great length and explosiveness at that small forward position. Wow, Clark, some kind of athlete.
You know, Kevin, he's been one of those guys that can play the fourth position for you just because of his tenacity and athleticism. When he had a season with double-digit rebound, he plays so big. So that's a valuable asset to have when you got a guy like Wallace.
The Nets making a switch here. Hunter's checked in.
Well, they are really getting chewed up inside here. I mean, that's 8 of the last 10 points they've given up inside, in the paint.
Yeah, and the paint should be sacred ground for a defense. I mean, you can't let anybody just trot in there and get an easy bucket.
Here's Kufos. That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala.
Creating that kind of shot in close is really your primary objective every possession. You know, when the Nets made the trade for Darren Williams a few seasons ago, Kevin, they were thought to have made a steal of a deal. Look at the haul they gave up, and it was a pretty steep price to pay.
Here's Gallinari. It's good, only a few seconds into the shot clock. Gallinari's got 6.
And he will punish an opponent for giving it that much room for mid-range. He'll hit that all day.
Not stop. There's no way to stop that. I mean, there's nothing you can do when he's coming at him like that.
Well, that's right, Clark. Steve, he is a dangerous, dangerous player.
Yeah, especially when he gets to that launching pad right there in the lane. I mean, pretty one-handed finish. That was nice.
Tries again. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Brook Lopez.
Well, it didn't take long for Brook Lopez to become a factor in the middle. As soon as he came into this league, he was scoring and rebounding at a pretty good rate. And, you know, you watch him, he's not overwhelming, but he's got a nice set of low post moves, and he's athletic enough to get those shots off from either block.
Something else with Brook, Steve, is he's such a consistent player that it's very hard for them to have an off game. His game doesn't fluctuate a whole lot. He's pretty steady. He'll find a way to score either from the line, with his excellent free throw shooting, or with his back to the basket.
They get the rebound. The Nuggets trail by 4. Jams it straight down. It's the Nets now. This is the second outing of the season against the Nuggets. Bogans kicks to Humphries. Kicks it to Lopez. Shoots from 12. The shot is off, and it's Denver the other way.
Tough season for Brook Lopez last year, guys. He broke his foot just before the season opener. He needed surgery and missed several months of action. So for a young player looking to take the next step in his progression, that was really a setback.
Andre Blatch, he's checked in for Brook Lopez. We get a break in the action, so let's take a look at the West and how the teams are stacking up. You look at San Antonio, and of course, there's the Nuggets. They're tied right now. And Brook Lopez actually only ended up playing 5 games last season after that injury.
Yeah, and for big men, you start talking about foot injuries, that can really be an issue. So hopefully it's behind him. Think about all the extra weight and torque that big guys put on their feet. Let's hope Brook Lopez, an outstanding offensive center, is healthy and as productive as he was his first couple of years.
Here's McGee. Goes to the reverse layup and drops it in.
3 straight buckets in the paint. They're making it look effortless.
Well, speaking of effortless, we'd like to see a little more out of the defense. So how about trying, guys?
Bogans, he's guarded by Chandler. A 3, gets it to go. Bogans got himself on the board with 3 there.
Right out of the gate, just filling it up.
Both teams are, guys. I mean, points coming fast and furious.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Osgood. And the layup falls.
Oh, a nice little trend developing here, fellas. I mean, that's 8 of their last 10 from inside the paint.
Yeah, they're getting high percentage looks down there. Their offense is really clicking. I don't see why they wouldn't just continue to pound the ball inside.
And not much resistance on that jam.
Yeah, defensively, you're right. Not a great sequence.
Well, they lost track of them, and they paid the price.
And now Brook running the floor all by himself. And the 3 off target. Here's Chandler. And he beat the buzzer. But it's no good. The Nets of 24. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And guys, what stands out to you from the Nets in this one?
And this team has done a nice job on the glass. I think that's how they've built this lead. They've been very physical, really established a presence in the paint.
Well, they've chased down those balls. As soon as they've hit the iron, they've been chasing them down. That's been a solid effort by them.
They've got Evans. Aaron Williams out there with Johnson. Then there's Bogans, and it's Blatch in at the center position. That's the next 5 as we get into the second quarter.
Denver right now is a collection of very good players, but they don't have a star anymore now that Carmelo is gone. You always wonder how a team is going to fare, particularly in the playoffs, when they don't have one guy who they can go to for a basket or a trip to the free throw line.
The Nuggets trail by 7. Toss in the pass to Iguodala.
That's foul number 2, and I think he's got to be really careful not to pick up the 3rd before the half.
The Nuggets have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
Well, the season numbers for this club are really low. I mean, this is something that the team has been focusing on. They've got to improve.
And Kevin, it's something they've been working very hard to correct and to change. I mean, they know how important it is to fix that inability at the free throw line.
Gerald Wallace, he's checked in for Keith Bogans. And Denver also making a switch. Gallinari's checked in. Goes up the alley-oop.
What a play. No regular dunk there. A superb alley-oop.
And it was a great pass, too, to set him up.
No, those two have such a great feel for each other. They're just fun to watch play together.
Here's Blatch. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
At the line. He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And he's got his first chance at the line here.
Well, he's right there at about 71% from the line this season. Probably somewhere below where he'd like to be.
You know, there's been some improvement in his free throw shooting this year. His percentage has taken a little jump compared to last season.
And Andre Iguodala with the slam. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Johnson dishes to Williams. Kicks it to Blatch. Iguodala with the steal. Pass to Gallinari. Good look. Rebound, Brooklyn.
That's a look that he'll never pass up. The one he'll usually never miss. Well, Danilo Gallinari out of Italy has emerged into a top-flight scorer in this league. A deadly shooter at 6'10". Pretty crafty inside. And I think after Kevin Durant, he could be the second-best small forward in the Western Conference.
C.J. Watson, he's checked in for Brooklyn. And Denver also making a switch. Kenneth Faried's checked in for Mozgov. Blatch with the steal. Iguodala with the steal. And the slam dunk by McGee.
A rim rocker.
Looked for a second like he might rip this cylinder loose.
That is some strength there, guys.
Chris Humphries has checked in for Brooklyn. Wilson Chandler's checked in for the Nuggets. And Danilo Gallinari, 6'10" Clark, great size at the small forward position. The upside here is terrific.
Yeah, he's really a uniquely skilled big guy. He can handle it, shoot it from deep, driving, and I love his IQ and craftiness. This is a very clever basketball player.
And while there's a break, here's a collection of the shooting guards that have made an impact with their passing this season. The leading assist men among two guards. With on the list, Andre Iguodala.
That list of players just goes to show that great passing doesn't just come from the point. And the way these guys distribute the ball from the two spot is really a thing of beauty.
What a throw down there, man. Did you see that?
Oh, we got to see that one again, guys. We've got to see that again.
I need a replay. I'm not sure what I just looked at.
Here's Wallace. Can't get it to go. And Denver the other way now.
With the move to Brooklyn now complete, we can look back at how the Nets fared in terms of playoff appearances during their time in New Jersey. They did a decent job of getting to the playoff ball in New Jersey.
Finals a couple times. The Nets making a switch here. Brooks checked in. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. And the Nets miss again.
Tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
It was hard, Steve, when the Nets were in the ABA. They won the 3 titles in 5 years, but the New Jersey version just didn't have that same success.
Well, the best years for the Nets were probably when Jason Kidd was running the show back a few years ago. They made the finals in consecutive years. But now it's a chance to start new in Brooklyn, start something special. And they're going to bank on this new venue, new location to try to jumpstart their franchise.
Looking to end the drought, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltending.
Been a little too easy for them inside, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, Steve. I mean, they've really dictated the action in the paint. That's been their focus, and the defense hasn't mounted much resistance at all.
For 3, Lawson. That doesn't go either for Lawson. Brook running the floor all by himself. Throws down the breakaway jam.
Great finish there, Kevin. Took it strong to the cup.
Yeah, an aggressive two-handed jam.
That's the kind you like, especially in traffic. You got to make sure.
Chandler. Here's Faried. And Wallace with the block. They recover. Count that one. McGee's got 6.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Brook Lopez is checked in for Blatch, and it's Bogan's in for Gerald Waltz. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Here's Lawson. Up with it. Lucas. That's It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Pretty bad defense letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know it's going to happen. They send a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
And the Nuggets making a change here. Randolph is checked in.
Well, this is the first full season of the post-Carmelo era in Denver, and it looks to me like the Nuggets are going to be just fine. They've got a collection of talent, maybe not superstar talent, but a lot of very, very good players.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Now some nice work in this quarter, finally being aggressive and getting to the free throw line.
And trying to battle back, that's the way to go. I mean, you take your opponent out of their rhythm, and then you extend the game.
He hits the second from the line. 23 seconds left here in the second. Nets leading by 3. And there's the feed to Bogans. Lets it go from deep. And that one's good. Bogans got 6 points. Lawson from outside. Shot misses. Here's Lopez. And so we wrap up the first half. Nets lead 40. Nuggets 30. The start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
Tremendous output from Iguodala. He's got 10 points, a couple of nice steals, too. You know, overall, he was really solid in the first half. Definitely bringing the intensity in.
Absolutely, Clark. I felt like he was an igniter, just driving their offense.
So on the floor for Denver, you've got Wilson Chandler. Cooper's out there with Randolph. Then it's Lawson. And it's Iguodala at the shooting guard.
They're really getting the work done inside with their rebound.
Yeah, not giving up too many second chance opportunities, which is always important. It's been one of the reasons they have the lead right now.
Reggie Evans, he's checked in for the Nets. Johnson comes in for Marshawn Brooks. And Denver with a change here, too. Mozgov, he's checked in for Anthony Randolph.
Well, Anthony Randolph, who played just 1 year at LSU, is a tantalizing talent. The size, the athleticism. But he hasn't been able to find his position at the NBA level. He's a tweener. He's not really a 3. He's not really a 4. And as a result, he's not been able to find his niche.
Iguodala against Johnson. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. As we get a break in the action now, let's take a look at the East and how the teams are stacking up. Taking a look at Miami. And, of course, the Brooklyn Nets. Tied up with them. JaVale McGee's checked in for Costa Koufos. And out of bounds as the Nuggets gain possession. And Anthony Randolph, a good handle for a big guy. Sometimes, you know, it seems he wants to play like a guard, pushing it up, making plays off the bounce. So Clark has got some versatility to his game.
He does have some, but sometimes versatility can be the enemy of zeroing in on what you need to do to be most effective. And Randolph kind of looks like a player of that ilk. 7-footer, skilled, but not quite taking advantage of all of his gifts physically.
The Nets making a switch here. Wallace is checked in. Nets leading by 8. Outside Williams. Wallace left side. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Williams has got 6 assists here tonight.
He's a guy that'll take it right into the teeth of the defense. A lot of his points come from inside of 5 feet.
Here's McGee. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, when you think about height, length, and leaping ability, I'm not sure there's anybody else in the league who combines those attributes like JaVale McGee. Just an amazing athlete for a player of his size.
Chris Humphries has checked in for Reggie Evans. Johnson kicks to Wallace. Rejected by Chandler. They retain possession. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession. And now let's bring up the 2K leaderboard so we can see and check out Some of the most feared defenders in the league. The steal leaders among shooting guards. Fifth on the list, Andre Iguodala.
Well, this is a very intense group. Those steals haven't come by accident. They've gotten through the effort they're willing to expend on that aspect of the game.
Right on. I mean, they're lockdown defenders, all of them. As gritty a group of guys as you can have on the perimeter. I like that one-handed spike right there.
And that's how it's done.
Sirree.
Yeah, he's not going to miss many of those.
That's what I like. A nice, strong finish inside.
That's what he does. He's got that dunker mentality.
Just a tremendous athlete. The guy's able to go up and finish over everybody defensively. Even the big guys down low.
When you talk about the athleticism for McGee, his ability to run will serve him well with those Nuggets.
Oh, yeah. He's actually thrived in that up-and-down, open-court style the Nuggets play. I mean, they get a guy who can block shots, who has unparalleled length and athleticism. That's a good fit for both.
And now we're 3 minutes into the third quarter of play. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Here's Iguodala. The dish to Mazda. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
Well, a lot of tough teams in this league. Here's where Brooklyn sits right now. 11th in rebounding. 11th in fewest turnovers per game. And they're in the top half of the league in shooting from deep as well. This is a strong suit for this team, knocking down those shots from behind the arc.
Williams gets a screen from Wallace. It's Williams with the drive. Wallace kicks to Humphries. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Wallace with the screen on McGee. And now in transition, here we go. Iguodala.
And this really is such an interesting time for the Nets because the move to Brooklyn, I think, has elevated the image of that franchise. They used to be the little brothers to the Knicks and playing across the river in New Jersey. But now they basically are sharing the spotlight in the Big Apple, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Big mistake not having more defensive pressure on him out there.
And Williams, here we go. Can't sink it off the spin to the middle.
This just has not been his day so far.
For three, Lawson. And again, Denver with the triple. Yeah, Nets are now in one of the premier locations, Steve, for any sports franchise, even if it was a short move. And I think, Clark, with that move, the whole mindset has seemingly changed.
Well, you can certainly call them a big market team now, and a lot of free agents will probably be interested in signing there. So definitely they've got a working advantage in their favor now.
Iguodala outside. Back to Lawson. Takes the three. That's balls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala. Iguodala's got 3 assists in the game. Johnson attacking. Lopez. Here's Humphries. And that one's good. Humphries has got 6.
Offensively just hammering away.
And that's 10 straight points inside, too.
At the line for one.
Well, this team in Denver is really built around the haul that they got for Carmelo Anthony in their trade with New York. A good group of players, a lot of young talent who can build around these guys for a long time.
Andre Blanche, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Marshawn Brooks is checked in for Joe Johnson. And they have to continue to tweak and build after that Carmelo trade, but really they got the building blocks there, Clark. You and Steve have been talking.
Well, the trade of Carmelo Anthony was a big move, but what often gets overshadowed in that is that leaving Denver allowed Ty Lawson to step up and really blossom into the star that he's becoming, and you add Danilo, Gallinari, and other pieces, and you can see why they've transitioned so well.
Outside Williams. Brooks. He dishes it to Humphries. Watch inside. He kicks it to Wallace. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Brooks. And it's Denver with the rebound. Chandler's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
And the pace has really ramped up in the second half.
Steve, I like the re-energized effort here. I mean, it's been a battle.
Brooks outside. It'll count. And at the close of the third quarter, still a close game in both.
56.
7. The Nuggets trail. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action. All fueled up and ready to go. So for Brooklyn now, Darren Williams and Marshawn Brooks manning the backcourt. Bogans is out there with Evans, and it's Blatch in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And Bogans gets it to go. The Nuggets trail by 5. Hamilton outside. Tried to come right back with the three of his own. It's no good.
Ammonia strong finish right there, partner. You hear me? That was ammonia strong.
Ripped it down with 2 hands.
That's about as high percentage as you can get.
This is Kevin Harlan. Reached up high and brought it down hard.
Well, that's how you do the dunk. That's for darn sure.
That's how you call them commentators.
You guys are crazy.
They get it again. And a foul call on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. He misses the free throw.
They're a poor free throw shooting team, and they've been true to form so far.
C.J. Watson, he's checked in for the Nets.
You know, with the altitude in Denver, a lot of Nuggets teams over the years have been built with speed in mind. And it makes sense because you come in as an opponent and you have to play against a team that gets up and down the floor. That's not easy.
Watson the pass to Fareed. And that's a foul called an Andre block. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the Nuggets making a change here. Brewers checked in. Here's Fareed. And he makes good on the layup. Stevie talked about the altitude. For anyone that hasn't been to Denver, watching the broadcast, you definitely feel it.
Yeah, you can feel it. And look at how the Nuggets have fared at home over the years. They always play well at home. They've had good teams, but the altitude is a part of that as well.
Dishes it to Brewer. No one near him. And play stops as it looks like they call him over the back here.
Well, he gave the officials no choice there. Easy call. Went right over the top.
Yeah, he's got to go straight up when he's under the boards in that kind of traffic. Get chest first into the man in front of you. That's a foul.
Here is Watson. The pass to Evans. And he throws it down with one hand. The Nuggets trail by 5. He feeds it to Fareed. To the inside. That's good. Kufis has got 6 in the quarter.
This team has to tighten up inside. Way too many easy hoops in the lane.
Yep, that's 5 straight buckets they've given up from the key now, and it's hurting.
And Blatch gets it to go on the assist by Watson. And the Nets lead by 5.
You don't need much range to hit from that distance, Kevin.
And Lawson, here we go. Kufis kicks the Chandler. That's good.
That's 5 straight hoops in the paint. What a fantastic job of attacking the rim.
Well, Steve, they're getting the looks that they want down there, so might as well keep going right at the rim. If there's no resistance, and make them pay.
Marshall, and that one's good. Brooks.
Well, I like that he's come up with some big baskets for this team to help him out getting this lead.
Brooklyn making some changes. Brook Lopez is checked in for Blatch. Humphries comes in for Reggie Evans. And it's Johnson in for Marshawn Brooks. And then for Denver, Osgood comes in for Kenneth Fareed. And it's Iguodala in for Corey Brewer. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Hey, guys. Well, George Karl had some advice for the team in that last huddle. He talked mainly about giving them a different look defensively and dropping more bodies into the paint, saying, listen, they're eating us up on the inside, and we need to do whatever it takes to stop them. Guys, back to you.
Deflects the pass. Chandler with the steal. Denver calls timeout.
Boy, one wants to get everybody on the same wavelength, that's for sure. He may change up some things here as well.
Looks to me like he saw something that wasn't on the plan and picked now as the time to address it. I don't have a problem with that.
Lopez over to help. Lopez with the steal. Johnson kicks to Watson. Fires from deep. That's good, and it's Johnson with the assist.
Now, you hate to see a guy suffer through a game like this, but his team is winning.
Passes it to Lawson. 2 minutes over Watson. And Lawson gets it to go on the assist by Iguodala. And it's 13 points for Watson. Watson dishes to Humphries. Puts it up. No good from Lawson.
I don't like his body language, guys, right now. It looks like he's completely out of rhythm.
Chandler's shot good.
And this continues to be a shootout.
Well, I'm a fan as well as a commentator, and I love this fast-paced action. I mean, it's going back and forth, back and forth.
Watson, the pass to Lopez. Feeds to Watson. On the wing, Johnson. 5 on the clock. Over Lawson. And the shot is good from Johnson. And the Nets lead by 4.
Tell you what, fellas, he loves those mid-range jumpers. I mean, that's where he makes his money.
And it's Iguodala missing. The Nets have gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the fourth quarter. Really getting it done.
Denver ball. At the line for your Nets, Joe Johnson. At the line for 2.
First free throw is good, and that puts them up by 5. Brooklyn making some changes. Reggie Evans, he's checked in for Humphries. Wallace comes in for Keith Bogans. And Deron Williams is subbed in for C.J. Watson. And then for Denver, JaVale McGee's checked in for Kukas. And it's Randolph in for Mozgov.
They didn't get a chance to knock one down in the first. The defense left him a look, and he nailed it. He'll make him pay when he's open.
Wallace, guarded by McGee. Yes!
Now, how exciting is it, guys, to see him go hard to the basket like that?
It's always fun to see, and it's one of the sights you can count on when he's out there, for sure.
Yeah, but you've got to try to do more to slow him down. You can't play him so soft near the hoop.
It's Williams with the drive to the middle. Shot misses. And Denver the other way now. It's in! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Love the finish there. Not much defense, though.
Absolutely critical chance right here.
Yeah, they need this one to go their way, Kevin.
Williams gets a screen from Wallace. Wallace with a screen for Williams. Wallace with a screen on Russell. 6 on the shot clock. Williams. The rebound by Wilson Chandler.
He slipped into quite a funk here, Clark.
I think that's a good word to describe it. I mean, the basket is looking awfully small to him at the moment.
Big-time shot.
Really clutch.
Yeah, no question the right call at this point. You can't let them just dribble it out.
That's right. I mean, you got to send him to the line and hope for a big miss.
Gwinnet's making a switch here. And so he drops them both. It's a 3-point game.
And those free throws will make things very hard on them. Only a 3 will save them out.
Denver calls timeout. They're behind by 3. There's 14 seconds left to play here in the fourth. What's your take, guys?
Well, they've got 2 options here. They can go for the 3 and the tie, or the quick 2 and the foul.
I like the idea of going for the quick 2. Take it to the rim. That wouldn't be a bad way to approach this situation.
I'm about my business, not mingling.
Johnson against Iguodala. Kicks to Lawson. Lawson gets the screen from Fareed. He's off from 3.
Couldn't convert, but nice little two-man game.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure don't. And when it was gut check time, this team kept their composure, kept their emotions in check, and got it done.
Well, that'll do it. For Doris Burke, Steve Kerr, and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying so long. We'll see you next time. And as we leave, we give you our Jordan Player of the Game, Brook Lopez.